In the last lecture, we designed our counter component and we also created two child components for the counter component. If I go to VS Code, here we have CounterValue component, which is a child component for the counter component, and in there we have this count property, and we are rendering the value of this count property in the UI using string interpolation syntax. Now, in the counter button component, we have some buttons like increment, decrement, and reset. And what we want is when the increment button in the counter button component is clicked, it should increment the value of this count property in the counter value component. In the same way, when the decrement button in the counter button component is clicked, it should decrement the value of this count property in the counter value component. So here, when something happens inside this counter button component, we want to notify about that event to this counter value component. And based on that, the counter value component should react. For that, what I'm going to do is in the counter button component on each of these button elements. So what I'll do is in order to make the text more readable, I'm going to format this document a little bit. Okay. So here we have three buttons, increment, decrement, and reset. On this increment button, I'm going to bind click event, and to bind click event, we need to use parenthesis, and inside that we need to specify the event name which we want to bind. And whenever the click event happens on this increment button, let's say I want to call a method on increment. Okay, now here we have this error because we do not have this on increment method in the component class, but we are going to create it in a bit. But I'm going to copy this click event and I'm going to bind it for other buttons also. So I'm going to bind click event for the decrement button, and whenever the decrement button is clicked, I'm going to call on decrement method, and whenever the reset button is clicked, here also I'm going to bind the click event, and here I'm going to call on reset method. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's create these methods in the component class. So let's open CounterButton component.ts file, and in there I'm going to create this on increment method. Let's also create on decrement method, and here let's also create on reset method. Now what do we want to do inside these methods? So from this button component, from this counter button component, whenever a button is clicked, let's say whenever the increment button is clicked, we want to emit an event for that. In the same way, whenever the decrement button is clicked, we want to emit an event for that. And whenever the reset button is clicked, in that case also, we want to emit an event. So in the counter button component class, first we are going to create three events. Here, let me call it as increment clicked. Okay, you can name these events anything, but the type of these events should be event emitter. And to use this event emitter, we need to import it from Angular/Co. And here we are going to create an instance of event emitter. And here, let's say this event is not going to emit any value. So the type here will be void. This event will just notify the parent component, in this case, the counter component, that an event has happened. So here also we need to specify the type. So the type here is going to be void. Okay. In the same way, I'm going to create two more events, one for decrement and one for reset. So here I'll say decrement clicked, and here I'll say reset clicked. All right. So here we are creating these three events. Now, whenever the increment button is clicked, we want to raise this event increment clicked. Whenever the decrement button will be clicked, we want to raise this event decrement clicked. And whenever the reset button is clicked, we want to this event reset clicked. And we want to listen for these events in the parent component. That means in the counter component. So for that, what we also need to do is we need to decorate these events with @output decorator so that we can bind these events in the parent component. Now to use this @output decorator, you also need to import it from Angular/Co, and I'm going to decorate other two events also with this @output decorator so that we can bind it in the parent component. All right. Now Inside this onIncrement method, this method will be called whenever the increment button is clicked. And whenever the increment button is clicked, we simply want to raise increment clicked event. And for that, first we are accessing this increment clicked, and on that I'm going to call emit method. And to this emit method, we don't need to pass anything because here we don't want to emit any value. We just want to emit an event. Which event? This increment clicked event. And we are going to do the same thing inside this decrement method. So whenever the decrement button is clicked, we want to emit decrement clicked event. So to emit it, we are using this emit method. And similarly, when the reset button is clicked, we want to emit reset clicked event. And to emit this event, we are going to call the emit method. All right. So inside this counter button component, what we are doing is we are creating three events: increment clicked, decrement clicked, and reset clicked. And we are emitting these events whenever one of the button is clicked. When the increment button is clicked, we are raising this increment clicked event. When the decrement button is clicked, we are raising this decrement clicked event. And when the reset button is clicked, we are emitting reset clicked event. Now we are going to bind these events in the parent component. Now, what is the parent component for this counter button? It is the counter component. And if you see, if I go to CounterComponent.html, there you will see that we are using the selector of the counter button component. So on this selector, what I'm going to do is here I am going to bind the custom events which we have created in the counter button component. So in the counter button component, we have this increment clicked event. Whenever this event happens, I'm going to call a method called increment count. Now this method we will create inside the counter component class. But first, let me go ahead and let me bind all the events which we have created in the counter button component. So when the decrement clicked event happens in the counter button component, then in that case, in the counter component, I want to call decrement count. Okay. And in the same way, I'm also going to bind reset clicked event. And whenever the reset clicked event happens inside this counter button component, in the counter component, I'm going to call reset count. Okay. Now let's go ahead and let's create these methods in the CounterComponent.ts file. So first let me create increment count. Let me go to CounterComponent.ts, and here first of all I'm going to create a count property, or maybe here I will call it as counter, and it is going to be of type number, and initially I'm going to set it to 0. Then I'm going to create this increment count method, and inside this method I'm going to increment the value of this counter property. So here I will say this dot counter plus plus. Then let's also create other two methods, which is decrement count and reset count. So whenever this decrement count method is called, we want to decrement the value of the counter. And then let's also create a reset count. And here we want to set the value of the counter to 0. Okay, so here in the parent component, we have created a counter property, and based on the event which has happened in the child component, in the counter button component, we are incrementing, decrementing, or resetting the value of this counter property. Now I'm going to pass the value of this counter property to counter value component. And there in the counter value component, we have a count property whose value we will set with the value of this counter property. And for that, I'm going to decorate it with at input decorator, because now on this property, on this counter property, we want to do property binding. And to do property binding in the parent component, we need to decorate it with at input decorator. And to use this at input decorator, we also need to import it from angular/co. Let's save the changes. And now if I go to CounterComponent.html, on this app counter value selector, what I can do is I can bind the counter property, or actually not here. So let me go to CounterComponent.ts file, Here we don't need to decorate it with @input decorator. Instead, we are going to decorate it in counter value component. So let's go to CounterValue component.ts file, and we are going to decorate this count with @input decorator. And to use this @input decorator, we need to import it from angular/co. So now, since we have decorated this count property with @input decorator, we can do property binding on this count property wherever we are using the selector of this counter value component. And we are using the selector of the counter value component in the counter component HTML. So this counter value component, it has a property, it has an input property called count. So we are going to do property binding on this. And to this, I'm going to assign the value of the counter property of this counter component. So this counter component has this counter property. So whatever is the current value of this counter property, I want to assign it to this count input property of counter value component. Now remember that this counter property of counter component will change whenever the increment, decrement or reset button is clicked in the counter button component. And that changed value we are passing to the counter value component, and we are assigning the count property of the counter value component with that value. With this, if I save the changes and if I go to our application, if I click on this increment button, you will see that the value of the counter is incrementing. If I click on decrement button, the value of the counter is decrementing. And if I click on this reset button, the value of the counter has reset to 0. So all the three functionalities are working as expected. So I hope this flow is clear. If not, let's understand it diagrammatically. So here in this diagram, if you see, in our app component, which is the root component of our application, we have three components: home, courses, and counter. And for the counter, we have two child components: counter value component and counter button component. Now in the counter value component, we have an input property called count, whose initial value is 0. And in the counter button component, we have an increment button, a decrement button, and a reset button. But here I'm taking an example of increment button. So what we are doing is, whenever this increment button is clicked, we are emitting an event from the counter button component. We are calling that event increment clicked. So whenever the increment button is clicked, we are emitting this increment clicked event. And since it is an output property, we can bind this increment clicked event in the parent component. And in the parent component, what we are doing is, we have bind this increment clicked event, and whenever this increment clicked event happens in the counter button component, the counter component is notified about that and it executes a method. And when it executes that method, it is setting the counter property of the counter component to 1. Basically, it is incrementing the counter property of the counter component by 1. So now the new value is 1. And now this counter component is going to pass the new value of this counter property to the counter value component using property binding. Because since this count, it is an input property, in the parent component, we can do property binding for this count property. And to that, we can assign any value which we want. Here, we are assigning the current value of the counter property to this count property of this counter value. And because of this, whenever the value of the counter in the parent component changes, that value is assigned to this count property in the child component. So here you see, in order to change a property value in one component, when an event happens in other component, we have to use a combination of input and output properties. In this way, we were able to pass data between these two sibling components. And if we have to pass data from one component to some other component also, there also we will have to use a combination of input and output properties. And because of that, we had to write a lot of code in our component class. Now we can achieve the same thing using NgRx state management system. And that we will see in our coming lectures. But in this lecture, I wanted to show you what is the downside of not using state management system in your Angular application when you want to pass data from one component to another component. So this is one scenario where NgRx can be very useful, and we will see that in our coming lectures. But in the next lecture, let's understand the building blocks of NgRx state management system. This is all from this lecture. If you have any questions from this lecture, then feel free to ask it. Thank you for listening and have a great day.